time to invite the Secretary of the Private Sector Commission, Mr. Ramesh Dookhoo, who is no stranger at all to trade issues. He has served in several capacities in Guyana and was once the head of the Caribbean Trade Organization as well. At this time, I have the honor and privilege to invite Mr. Dookhoo to make a presentation.
Thank you, Wesley. Mr. President of the Chambers of Commerce of the U.S., Guyana Chamber of Commerce, our honorary guest and presenter from the State Department, and all other protocols that I should observe but can't remember. Greetings from the Private Sector Commission of Guyana. The Private Sector Commission is an umbrella body for many business associations in Guyana. 99% of all business associations sectorally are members of the Commission. The Commission plays a huge role in dealing with cross-cutting issues, trade being one of those, governance and security. And while we're on that, I'd like to thank Wesley Curtin and his organizations for opening many, many doors in the State Department during Guyana's political crisis before and now after. We thank you, Wesley, and your association. We also want to support the timely holding of this webinar. It's extremely important to Guyana at this point in time. We also want to say that we welcomed and we met with the DFC more recently, and they've given us a lot of hope and encouragement that the financial and the capital supply in the capital market in Guyana can change drastically if we are to try to cope with the developments that are going to take place. But we're here to talk about exporting to the US, and we need to basically stop the talking and start the doing. How are we going to do that? We need to educate our business people a little more. The private sector in Guyana has been doing that. I want to refer to a now famous initiative referred to as OnCAPT, which is an agro-processing initiative that seeks to bring the producers of Guyana's non-traditional agricultural products into the same room to find markets for them and to develop their businesses generally. OnCAPT has been a huge success. It's sponsored mainly by large businesses in Guyana. Many of our agro-processors or agro-producers are very small to medium-sized businesses who has a serious challenge with the lack of capital injection and the lack of, management skills, basically. So the private sector in Guyana is doing a lot of that. Many of these persons, about 50 of them, from the OnCAPT initiatives, sponsored by the GMA and its larger members, including companies like DDL and Bank CIH, now Exxon. We're continuing to develop these persons. Their products range from ketchup made out of agricultural produce here in Guyana, non-GMO, very organically prepared products, and we continue to support these persons. Our country, however, has suffered tremendously from poor export controls of agricultural products. Many of our not too well-meaning citizens have done nefarious things in the export of agro-processed produce or raw agricultural produce. As a result, we suffer from high profiling at the borders in the US. I don't blame the border control in the US. We need to do this. Since then, Guyana has stepped up its ability in terms of equipment, in terms of processes, to better monitor what we are exporting to the US. And I believe that we are in a better place. And I'm not sure if we are still a high risk in this regard. We need in Guyana to also bring large contract farming to our country. We have huge swaths of land in Guyana that are untilled land that is capable of producing and manufacturing high quality world-class products. I want to touch also on the issue of rum and Puerto Rico. I'm not sure Mr. Samaru is better equipped to deal with that, but it has driven a tremendous blow to our rum industry here in Guyana. I heard mention of procurement laws. Guyana has some of the most advanced procurement laws in the world. It was designed with the help of the IDB many years ago. Our problem may be adherence to those laws, as dominant political influence continue to give us trouble in that area. We need also to find a place where we can work permanently with distributors in the US. Someone mentioned before I spoke that if we find what we can sell to the US and we specifically try to certify those industries and those businesses that has that potential, we need to be in the same room with Publix supermarkets. We need to be in the same room with big distributors in the US who can help us to develop our products for these small and medium-sized businesses. So while we put all the macro environment in place, we need also to drill down, and we need a permanent place in the private sector in Guyana, and perhaps with the agricultural department in the US to be able to do this as well. I'm not sure where that is placed in the US scheme of things, but we need to get that done. The PSC is also about taking cognizance of the fact that we need to educate our producers. The PSC is about to enter into an MOU with a university in the US as well. That MOU should be signed this week. We hope that we can expand that initiative into a national one where we will be able to help persons who need help with certification, need help with registering their products with the FDA, etc. Right, so I've said, I believe, what I think needs to be done. The Caribbean Basin Initiative, we welcome the initiative, we welcome the expansion, but we need to take a different approach to minimum wage in Guyana. We are advocating that minimum wage be industry specific, so we don't paint minimum wages with one brush. That can harm, for example, the garment industry as it has before. So that would be my contribution. I want to take this opportunity on behalf of the PSC to wish the webinar to be a huge success and to welcome anyone who's listening to make contact with the PSC. Visit our webpage, visit the GMSA webpage, and we can continue this conversation at any time going into the future. Thank you very much.